So today I'll be showing you guys my Endymion Zoodiac deck, Pendulum Zoo if you want to call it, to be more specific, call it Endymion Zoo. Now I did first see this on Triff Gaming's channel. It was a really interesting concept. Basically, if you can get out any zoo monster, which is pretty easily with Pendulum summoning, you just get a free Drident, which is off the ban list after many years being banned. This is also more of a budget variant, so you should be able to build this deck for pretty cheap. It's really fun, and I'll get more into why I decided to play the Zoo variant and why I think it's actually a pretty decent variant to play at your locals, possibly even regional, and see how you can do. So first off, for the main deck, we are not playing any Magicians, we're just playing Endymion, so we're playing triple Mighty Master. Now this card is very good, obviously. One thing that I tend to struggle with, though, personally, as I play this deck, is I always struggle to utilize this card to its full potential. I feel like this card is way better than I'm able to use it, and I feel like as time goes on, this card just gets better since it was released. So it's your negate, it's your way to get to Vortex, it's your high scale, very good card. Then I have one Servant to bring it out. You can also bring out one of your two Mythical Beast Jackal Kings with this, which is very strong. You know, monster negate to play around Nibiru, you bring out this. And then for the other reflection, or the other Endymion I should say, I'm playing one reflection because I wanted another low scale. This is also searchable from the spell, which is really cool. And going second, you can like bounce cards. It's not bad. I definitely do like playing it in the deck. So now continuing on, we have the honorary Endymion stuff, I guess you could say, with the 3 Magical Abductor. This card is just so good. I tend to scale it more. I know you can normal summon it and then get something like your Jester Confident, which I'm playing one of. If you have Magician Souls, this is where the budget part comes in, because Magician Souls would be so much better in this deck because you can search for Magician Souls off of Abductor, and then you can send your Tankies or Barrages to grave with Magician Souls to draw. Like, Souls in this deck has a lot of synergy. It's really good, but Abductor's really nice just to get that extra scale. If you need it, you scale it, get your high Endymion, get your whatever you need. You can normal summon it if you want, get your Jester Confident to go into Crowley relatively easily. Basically, if you can get to a Link 2 before Pendulum summoning with this deck, you can put up like 3+ negates pretty easily, which is pretty good. If you have a good hand, you can put up 4 more. If you have an okay-ish to bad hand, you can usually get at least 3. So next up, we have the Chronograph and the Time Gazer, just for an extender, really. Not much else to say there. Also, if you extra deck a bit, I guess, you can pen summon stuff. Then I have some random extenders. So I have 1 Curtain Raiser and 1 Passing Glider. So I don't have 2 Curtain Raisers, otherwise it would be 2 Curtain Raisers. Passing Glider is basically just a Cyber Dragon, even if your opponent has no monster, which is kind of nice. So basically, like I said before, if you can get to your Link 2 before pen summoning, then this deck can actually do a pretty good amount of stuff. And also with the Curtain Raiser, it's level 4, and you can get into level 4s, rank 4s rather, pretty nicely, because I really like playing Dweller in decks. I feel like Dweller's really good, and this helps you get to Dweller, which is pretty nice. Dweller, Link 2, easier, makes the deck really strong. Then I have the Zoo stuff, so I have 1 Whiptail, 1 Thoroughblade, then getting into the spells a little bit here, I have the 3 Tanky and the 1 Barrage. So basically, with these 6 cards, you're going to be able to get to your zoos a lot of the time because you have a lot of draw cards, you have a lot of search, you have a lot of ways to get here. These are also spells, which can just be activated for free for Abductor or for one of the Endymions, which is kind of nice. So I opted for these over Magicians because I feel like with the Magicians, yes, they're very good, but the main appeal to the Magicians is harmonizing Magician, getting you to typically a rank 4 or level 8 synchro for another interruption. Well, what these do the same with the Drident. You just special summon 1, boom, you have a Drident right away. These require playing less bricky cards because with the Magicians, if you play Black Fang, you play Purple Poison, they don't really do anything. They're really just there to make harmonizing playable, right? So with these, like, yes, they can brick because you only have 2 targets, but there's free spells you can activate. They're not pen calls where if you get Ash, you pretty much just lose the game because you go -2. And with these, in the absolute worst case scenario, if you have no play, since this deck can do a lot of stuff without normal summoning, at the very worst, you can just normal summon Whiptail, go to Shotgun, go to Drident, and you have 1 interruption. So what I'm trying to say is, even though like this deck is like any other Yu-Gi deck where you can break, there's very rare situations where you can at least put something up, and this helps a lot with that because Drident is a very good card. Just popping cards in your opponent's turn pretty nicely. And then we have the last monsters, which are the 2 Spellbook Magician of Prophecy, aka Blue Boy, 2 Secrets for the spells, and 1 Knowledge. So yeah, the Blue Boy engine, I'm starting to like it a lot more lately. I didn't really like it when it first became popular, but now I like it a lot more ever since the past couple of profiles I've been doing for Pendulum, which has been a lot lately. I have another Pendulum profile that I'm working on, which should be out hopefully in a week or 2 when I finish up the deck and stuff like that. But anyway, so you get Blue Boy, you get your Secrets, you get your Knowledge, you get 2 spell activations, you can play Crowley. It's just a very good card. If you can Crowley in the normal summoning this, and then you get your Secrets, oh, it's so good. It's so good. And then we have the 3 mastery to get to your Endymion cards. Not much else to say there. 2 desires, 1 upstart, and triple allure for the draw power. You could play 3 desires. Again, people like to argue you have to play 3 if playing less than 3 isn't ideal. I just don't want to banish too many things, and I feel like I just don't want to break as much either. You can play 3 if you want. People might think I'm an idiot for only playing 2 in a lot of my decks, but it's up to you. Then I have some extender-like cards. We have Reasoning, and we have Instant Fusion. Instant Fusion is nice with Selene because you can Instant Fusion Millenniumize, which I guess isn't budget because it's Millenniumized, but you could play literally any Instant Fusionable spellcaster and get a very similar result with Selene. Because you can Instant Fusion, get something engraved. Because one of the issues with this deck, and one of the reasons why Blue Boy is so much better, I should say, is because it gets you a spellcaster engraved for Selene, whereas the Pendulums go to the extra deck, obviously. Then one Reasoning, so even if you whiff the Reasoning, you load your extra deck up, or you load your graveyard up with spells. So there's a lot of differing levels in this deck. You have 3s, you have 7s, you have 4s, you have 5s. It's really nice. I like the card a lot. And then we have 1 Foolish Burial. So I play Foolish Burial mainly for Selene because you can Selene and then Foolish Burial and Mighty Master, and then you just get a Mighty Master. Kind of like a pseudo Rhoda kind of like a pseudo 4th Spellpower Mastery in that way, I guess. Really fun card. I like it a lot. Just a free, easy spell to activate as well. Now on to our extra deck here. So first off, we have these Zoo cards. We have the 1 Drident and the 1 Shockanine because you need to play any other Zoo card to get to it. Normal summon your Zoo monster, go to Shockanine, go to Drident, which is pretty cool. Also, one thing worth considering that could come up is you can make Shockanine with just any 2 level 4 monsters, right? So you can just go Shockanine Drident if you want. Like, it's an option if you don't have a way to get to a Zoo. Pop a card. Main reason why the Zoos are so good right now, or so good in general, I should say, is because you get really easy monsters. So these should be Selenes. I actually ordered Selenes, and then they canceled my order because they had a stock error and they didn't have them. So I'm like cursed to never get Selenes, but they're pretty cheap. If I had them, these would be. I should have them because I bought them, but then got refunded. Yeah, Selene's really, really strong in this deck because you get a ton of counters with the with the tankies. Then you can bring back your Endymions. This card really, really makes the deck so much better. When I say the deck, I mean Endymions in general, really. So much better. Then I have 1 Crowley, just to get into our spellbook stuff. Really, really strong card. I love this card so much because of the advantage it provides for you. Ideally, that's the link 2 I would want to go to before pen summoning if I can, and then get the Blue Boy off. 1 Daybreaker, I don't really summon this a lot, but it's kind of cool if you need an extra counter and stuff like that. You can just go into this and then bring back your Endymion from the scale or something. It comes up sometimes, just generic link 2 at the worst, because it's 2 spellcasters, and most of your deck is spellcasters. 1 Cross Sheep, because you can make this with the Vortex Dragon to get another monster. Also, I play with 1 Instant Fusion, so in some situations you could just go Cross Sheep, Instant Fusion, bring something out. Then going with the Cross Sheep, we have the Vortex Dragon and the Absolute Dragon, of course, as well as the Millennium Eyes. Then I'm playing 1 Odd Eyes Meteor Burst Dragon, which seems really, really weird, because now that I'm looking at this deck, I just realized that I can't actually summon this card. So I don't know why this is here. I just realized that. I think this is leftover from when I was playing Magicians, so my bad on just realizing that now. But with that being said, this card, what I would cut it for if I had it, would be Appaloosa, Access Code Talker, any generic link 2 that would be fit. IP would be great. IP plus Unicorn would be really great. So consider this the flex spot, really, because there's no point in playing this. It's leftover from when I was still playing Magicians, and I forgot to take it out. But yeah, so that's the flex spot, I guess you can say. Then I have Phoenix and Dweller just for general utility, because they're very, very good cards. And then 1 Borreload and 1 Borrelosword. I like Borrelosword a lot in this deck because, you know, OTKing is good. Borreload, again, is not needed. If you play the IP, you can just cut this for Unicorn. You can cut this for the Access Code and Appaloosa if you want to play both. 3rd Selene, if you really want, isn't a bad idea. I just very rarely ever need 3. That's why I'm only playing the 2. So, yeah, that is the full deck. Actually, it is an extremely fun deck to play. I like it a lot. Is it better than playing Magician and Endymion? Honestly, I think it might be. At least from my experience, I enjoy playing it better. And yeah, so that'll be it for today. Leave a like if you enjoy, subscribe, and you'll know what you think of the deck down in the comments down below. Any ways to improve it, any ways that I made it worse than it needs to be, let me know. And I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you all next time. Have a great rest of your day, and bye-bye.